ocean, rising up above the sea, is a land of wonder, is a land of mystery.
Mystery Island, hoo-ha, Mystery Island, hoo.
So much to discover, so much for us to see. God's truth never failing, all the way through history.
Mystery Island, hoo-ha, Mystery Island, hoo.
There's a place you gotta see, a land of discovery. It's Mystery Island, Mystery Island. Searching for the ancient truth, hand it down to me and you. Mystery Island, come on! Won't you come along with me? On a search to the island, for the clues hidden all around. Our God is a treasure, just waiting to be found.
Mystery Island, hoo-ha, Mystery Island, hoo. Mystery Island, hoo-ha, Mystery Island.
There's a place you gotta see, a land of discovery. It's Mystery Island, Mystery Island. Searching for the ancient truth, hand it down to me and you. Mystery Island, come on! Won't you come along with me?
Mystery Island, it's a place for you and me. Ready for discovery? The deeper you dig, the more you will find. Cause that's how it works on Mystery Island. The path is narrow, so stay on track. But the treasure is yours if you follow the map. God is faithful, God is strong. I can sing of his love all the day long. God is powerful, holy and true. I'm ready for mystery, how about
There's a
you?
place you gotta see, a land of discovery. It's Mystery Island,
It's Mystery Island.
Mystery Island. Searching for the ancient truth, hand it down to me and you. Mystery Island,
It's Mystery Island.
Mystery Island.
It's a place for you and me.
There's a place you gotta see, a land of discovery. It's Mystery Island,
It's Mystery Island.
Mystery Island. Searching for the ancient truth.
It's a place of discovery. It's a place for you and me. Won't you come along with me?
Won't you come along with me?
Mystery Island, hoo-ha, Mystery Island, hoo.
Ahoy, Islanders! Welcome to our last day on Mystery Island, day 5. You can see we have our luau set up. We're getting warm by the fire. We've got all the food out back, and we're just so excited this evening to be with you. So happy that it's day 5. So happy and so sad. I'm going to miss you guys for sure. Every day this week, we've learned something new about God. On day 1, we learned that God is great. On day 2, we learned that God is almighty. On day 3, we learned God is ruler. And yesterday, we learned that God is Emmanuel. And today on Mystery Island, we are learning that God is the greatest treasure we could ever have, and he is completely trustworthy.
Look out! Am I coming through? Come on, get out! I got it! I found it! I get it!
Buccaneer Bubba, it looks like your swashbuckling ways have earned you some swag.
Aye, I can't wait to see all this loot.
Did you find this buried on the island?
I did.
Woo!
Let's open her up.
Okay. Watch out, it's sharp.
Oh man. Oh man.
Well, at least it's something.
Well, I think I'm gonna go try to find more buried treasure.
Well, you know, buried treasure reminds me of our last pilot we're learning about, William Kidd, otherwise known as Captain Kidd.
Did he bury treasure?
Yeah, he found lots and lots of treasure, and it's known that he buried quite a bit of it, and to this day, no one even knows where it is. He buried treasure all the way down from the Caribbean seas, all the way up to New York, and people don't know where it is. They keep looking for it. They did find one of his ships once down in the Caribbean, and one of his cannons, they took it and they put it in a children's museum.
Well, ships and cannons, that sounds pretty cool, but I'm in search for more buried treasure. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go look for some.
Okay.
Ooh, I bet you Sharky knows where some is, so I'm gonna go get him and he can tell me.
That's good, but make sure Sharky stops here first before he helps you, okay?
Okay,
right.
I'll go get him. I got an idea. I'll be back.
Well, I hope you can find some more buried treasure. So all this week we have learned all different attributes of God. On day 1, we went to the chameleon cave and we met Camel the chameleon. And we learned that camels' colors can change, but God never changes. So let's read our verses one more time together. This is our verse for day 1. Great is the Lord and greatly to be praised, and his greatness is unsearchable. Psalm 145:3. And on day 2, we traveled down to the Octopus Inlet, where we met Flip the flapjack octopus. She lives at the bottom of the sea, but God knows where she is and knows what she's doing because he's all-knowing, he's everywhere, he's all-powerful. God is almighty. Our verse for day 2, will you say it with me? Behold, I am the Lord, the God of all flesh. Is anything too hard for me? Jeremiah 32:27. And on day 3, we traveled down to the Great White Gulf, where we met Clark, the great white shark. And he might be king of the sea, but God is king over all. God is ruler. And our verse for that day, and one called to another and said, Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole earth is full of his glory. Isaiah 6:3. And on day 4, we traveled to Jellyfish Lagoon, where we met Jam, the immortal jellyfish. She may seem to live forever in the ocean, but you can be sure that you have eternal life with God by trusting in him, having him forgive you of your sin, and believe in Jesus, Emmanuel, God with us. And our verse for yesterday, but God shows his love for us, and that while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. Romans 5:8. And today, we've come full circle around the island. Get your maps out. Be ready to put your coin on your last day. You did it. We took you around the entire island, and we are in Macaw Mountain, and this is where we've set up our luau, and I hope you're setting up your luaus. So today is Macaw, Trusty the Macaw, and he's like a parrot. And it is a pirate's friend, but God is the most treasure friend we have. God is trustworthy. So our last verse, you read it together with me. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make straight your paths. Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Aloha, I should say. I think, How did you get those? Did you get those from Buccaneer Bubba? Okay, on purpose or an accident? No, we don't know. Okay. Hey, what do you think of our luau? Look at, isn't it look amazing? See the fire? Do you smell the barbecue out back? It's gonna be so good. Hey, you know what? You didn't really dress up. We need to dress you for our luau. Look at all these things I have for you. Would you like to dress up for our luau? So there you go. Very nice. And boys and girls, I hope that you're dressing up for your luau because you can really use anything you have at home. Leaves and vines and branches, anything to look tropical. You dress up your whole house. I'm gonna put the second one on you. Look, I even have a surprise for you here. Oh, Sharky, look how nice you're gonna look. Put it right there. Oh. One more. All right, tip your nose down. Don't eat the flamingo. There. Does he look cool? Now you're ready for a luau. Hey, did you happen to bring the craft and things to show? Did you eat all of Captain Crunch? Oh, okay, so good. So, last day to hide your Sharky mascot. You gonna hold him? And then, okay, that's fine. Go ahead, we're done with him now. And then in your craft kit, you're gonna make magnets. So you're gonna have 1 and 3. This is one, what one of them looks like, and there's 2 others, and you're gonna make a magnet that talks about trusting in the Lord. And then you still have your snack idea and your game idea, and we're gonna send you off to missions and drama. So remember, let's see, what was happening last time? They had a lie detector test last time, and then Dylan was getting pretty suspicious of Mr. Henson. I don't think he believes he's really a lawyer. And do you think they're ever gonna find that inheritance treasure? Let's find out. I bet they do today.
There's a
See you later.
place you gotta see, a land of discovery, Mystery Island. Come on! Won't you come along with me?
Mystery Island. Mystery Island.
Okay, listen. Mr. Henson is headed this way, so I'm going to alert the detective. You stay here and keep him occupied. Any questions?
Nope, I've got it.
Okay, now whatever you do not let him out of your sight. Do you understand me?
Yes, ma'am, I'm gonna stick to him like glue.
Sorry, I'm going to miss this.
Ooh, boy, this is gonna be fun.
Hey, it's me. No, okay, they're on the final leg right now. I know, payday is just around the corner. Okay, oh yeah, I've got them all. I've got the hook, I've got the crown, I've got the heart, and pretty soon, maybe even Captain Scurvy Legs Gold. I know. Not bad for a couple days' work, don't you think? No, don't even worry about her. Yes, I know she's on me, but it's no clue. I mean, seriously, I've got nothing to fear. So, any news on your end? Hey, kid. Hey, you might go somewhere else? Hey, kid. Hey, turn it off! Do you mind? I'm trying to do a phone call here.
Mind? Oh, no, I don't mind.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey!
There, that looks better. Oh, sorry. I hope I didn't interrupt your phone call.
It's all right. Forget it. It's done now.
Oh. Can I get you anything to eat?
Yeah, nachos.
Okay, 1 bowl of nachos coming right up. And here you are.
Thank you.
And there's that. Okay. Lovely day we're having today, right?
I know.
Right?
Hey!
What's wrong? Oh,
Watch what you're doing!
I'm sorry. I looked away for 1 second and look what happened.
Forget it. It's just water.
So, you still want your nachos?
Yeah, I guess.
Good. There's not much I can mess up with that one.
Oh. What is that?
Oh, there you are, little...
There's a lizard in my nachos!
There you are, little buddy. I was looking for you.
Forget it. I'm out of here. I've had enough.
No, you're not.
What are you talking about?
Look behind you.
What's this about?
Gina Patel, you are under arrest for the stealing of Captain Oak's ook.
What are you talking about? My name is Tobias Henson, and I work for a law firm.
Oh, is that so? Would you care to explain this book then? How to Impersonate a Lawyer in 10 Easy Steps. Dylan here found it in your briefcase yesterday. Now, come on, confess, you are not a lawyer.
So, we can do this the easy way or the hard way. It is up to you. Oh, my back. Oh, after him, Stanley.
Yes, detective!
Wait, no, this
That
way,
way.
this way.
Where'd he go?
Get back here, Hudson!
Go get him!
Ah! Where'd he go? Get back here, snake! Ah! Ah!
Aha! Just like they say, crime doesn't pay.
Ah, be quiet.
Nice work, Stanley. Let's go.
Detective, it's...
I know. I was just teasing you.
That was funny. Good one.
That was awesome!
That really couldn't have gone better. Well done.
Yeah!
What's going on?
Why was Mr. Henson in handcuffs?
Because Mr. Henson wasn't really Mr. Henson after all.
What?
That's right. His name is Gino Patel. He's an international antiquities thief.
Really? Well, that's crazy!
So, Mr. Henson really wasn't a lawyer after all, but a bad guy?
That's right. If it wasn't for Detective Dylan here, we probably wouldn't have caught him.
Well, way to go, Dylan!
Yeah, good job!
Thanks.
Wow.
You know what? Why don't you take the rest of the day off?
Well, really?
Yes, go have some fun.
Oh, thanks! You're the best, Miss Mabry!
I just can't believe that about Mr. Henson.
Oh, I know. I was shocked when I found out. But anyways, you two finished the last leg, didn't you?
Yes, we
did.
did.
Yeah, and here's what we
Oh,
found.
you can't wait to see this.
A mini treasure chest.
But we can't get it open.
Well, that's because I have the key.
I wonder what's inside.
Maybe the directions to Captain Scurvy Leg's gold.
Oh, it's a diamond. And a really big one at that.
I wonder whose it was.
Maybe Cleopatra.
Or the Queen of Sheba. What does the fact sheet say about it?
Well, we don't have a fact sheet for this one. We have something much, much better. A video message from your Uncle Joe.
What?
Hello, Emily, Everett. Believe it or not, I'm your Uncle Joe. And if you're watching this, I guess that means I'm gone, which is a really strange thought. But anyway, I'm just sorry, really sorry that we never met. And it's my fault entirely. You see, I left home when I was 16, before your dad was born and never came back. Something I deeply regret. But I wasn't just running away. I was pursuing a dream, a passion that I had. I wanted to see the world and hunt for buried treasure. So that's what I did. From the top of the world to the bottom of the ocean and everywhere in between. I've searched countless ruins, caves, and shipwrecks, looking for long-lost treasures and artifacts. Then I heard about Captain Scurvy Leg's gold. The treasure of all treasures, and knew right away I had to find it. So I packed my things and moved to Mystery Island. Then I searched, and searched, and searched. For years I searched, but found nothing until one day, when I was at my wit's end, I stumbled upon an old stone church tucked away at the north end of the island. Now, I've never been a churchgoer, but that day, for some reason, I had to check it out. Inside was an old man on his knees praying. When he saw me, he asked if he could help. I must have looked desperate, So I told him about Captain Scurvylegs and my lifelong quest for treasure. He listened patiently and then asked if I'd like to hear about the treasure he'd found. A treasure that was far, far greater than the one I was searching for. And of course, I was interested. Then he told me about the one true God, the Creator, the King of the universe, a God of righteousness, holiness, and justice, but also a God of mercy, goodness, love, and forgiveness, a God who knows everything, sees everything, and can do miracles. A God with no beginning and no end. A God who never changes, whose ways are higher than ours. And sadly, a God I didn't know. But then he explained to me how I could know God by turning from my sins and trusting in what Jesus did for me on the cross. So I became a child of God that day, and my life changed. Suddenly, I had an intense desire to share this new treasure with my friends and neighbors. I also began working on a plan to reunite with the family, but that was derailed by a bad health report, which is why you're here right now. I have many regrets, many things I would do differently, but I can't change that. All I can do is finish well, and so I want to give you something. Sure, I've got some valuable artifacts, 3 of which you already have, but that's not where the true riches are. Not by a long shot. No, the real treasure is in a relationship with that one true God. And that's what I want you to really have. The Bible says in John 3:16, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only Son, that whoever believes in him should not perish, but have eternal life." Now, what could possibly be more valuable than that? So if you're interested, oh, and I hope you are, I've asked Miss Mabry to explain God's plan of salvation more adequately. She can also answer any questions you might have. And with that, I'll say goodbye. And I hope to see you both on the other side. Goodbye, Emily. Goodbye, Everett.
That makes me so sad.
I know. He was such a sweet guy. He used to come here all the time. He loved this side of the island. So, did you two have any thoughts about what he said?
Yeah. It's a bummer he never found Captain Scurvylegs' gold.
I think she was referring to the part about God.
I know. I'm just disappointed, that's all.
But Uncle Joe wasn't disappointed, was he?
No, not at all. Because he realized that even though he'd spent 20 years looking for it, that he had found something so much better.
A relationship with God.
Yep, that's right. And you can find that too, if you'll trust him. And who better to trust than a God who is amazingly great and perfectly good?
You know, Everett, she's right.
I know. We need what Uncle Joe had.
Really? Uh-huh. That's incredible. I'm going to get my Bible because we have a lot to talk about.
Mystery Island. Come on. Won't you come along with me?
Mystery Island. Hoo-ha. Mystery Island.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Missions Moment. It's day 5, our last day on Mystery Island. I hope you guys have had a blast doing VBS all week. I hope you guys have enjoyed Missions Moment thus far. And like I said, this is the last one. So without further ado, I want to introduce you guys to my special guest who we've been waiting for all week. His name is Martin. He is the director at Casa de la Esperanza, which is the orphanage that we've been talking about. And which basically, since he's a director, it basically means that he runs the place. He's pretty much the head honcho there at Casa de la Esperanza. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this interview.
Hey guys, how are you guys doing?
Hola.
Hola, amigo. All right, so before we get started, I just want to have each of you guys just explain super quick who you are. So for the kids who don't know who Amy is, this is Amy. She's our translator who goes with us in November whenever our church goes down. So Amy, if you could just give a quick little introduction to who you are.
Yeah, hi kids. I'm a big fan of Hampton Falls and have been very blessed by your church. I've gone a couple times and I have been going to Casa de la Esperanza, the orphanage down in Mexico, for 11 years now. And so I have really good relationships with the people and just have really respect them and love them. Currently, I live in Pennsylvania. I work at Messiah College, soon to be university. And I'm going to let Martín explain a little bit about himself. Martín,
Okay. Hola, mi nombre es Martín Hernández. Soy director de Casa de la Esperanza.
Hi, my name is... Tengo que traducir. Hi, my name is Martín. I'm the director here at House of Hope.
Soy director del orfanatorio Casa de la Esperanza desde hace aproximadamente 7 años. Yo viví en Casa de la Esperanza, fui uno de los chicos que creció.
I have been the director here for approximately 7 years, and I was one of the kids that grew up here in the House of Hope, in this orphanage.
Previo a ser director, a llegar a la casa, viví en la calle, crecí en el orfanatorio, sin saber que el propósito de Dios era quedarme.
So before I came to Casa many years ago, before I was a kid here, a director here, I lived on the streets, and I really didn't know the purposes that God had for me in staying here.
Crecí durante muchos años en la casa, estudié la carrera en la universidad para comunicación y publicidad.
So I lived many years here at the orphanage, and I had the opportunity to go to university, and I studied public relations and communications at a nearby school here.
Tenía un contrato para una televisión y al mismo tiempo tenía que tomar una decisión si quedarme en Casa de la Esperanza para ayudar. Entonces, yeah.
So I had this opportunity to work for a television station, and I had this choice of whether I was going to take that or stay to help in the House of Hope.
Era divertido estar en la televisión, pero también Dios quería algo y decidí hacer la voluntad de Dios hasta ahora.
So it was very fun to have this opportunity for the television station, and it was really good. But ultimately, I decided that God's purpose for me was to help at the House of Hope, and so I decided to follow His will in this way.
Y para mí es algo, Casa de la Esperanza es mi trabajo, mi familia, mi todo. Amo a todos los niños, a todas las personas que vienen y me encanta hacer esto para los niños.
So House of Hope is my job, it's my life, it's my family. I love all of the kids, and I love having the opportunity to serve here and to be here. ¿Y algo más?
Tengo 29 años y me toca ser papá de jóvenes de 17, de 16, contar cuentos a niños de 2 años, jugar canicas, jugar fútbol, hablar de novios, de todo. Entonces, me encanta todo esto.
So he is 20, I'm 29 years old, and I have the opportunity to be the father of 17 and 18-year-olds. I have the opportunity to play marbles, to tell stories, to talk about boyfriends and girlfriends and relationships with all of these kids.
Cool.
Eso es un poco
That's
de
awesome.
That's a little bit about me.
That's awesome. I didn't even know that you had the opportunity to work on a television set, Martín. That's super cool.
Es que no sabía que tenías esa oportunidad de trabajar en el contrato de la televisión.
Pues lo sabes.
Now you know.
There you go. All right, so my first question that I have for you guys comes from a lot of the kids wanted to know what you guys do for fun there. So this is Sam Mezzi.
What do they do for fun?
Bueno, hemos hecho cosas que los niños siempre me han pedido y aprovecho estas vacaciones de coronavirus para hacerlo. Empezamos un establo, tenemos gallinas, tenemos 14 gallinas y un gallo, y esto lo construimos con los niños.
Gracias. So I often listen to the kids and I take advantage of the things that they want to do. So with these coronavirus vacations that we're in right now, we have created more or less of like a stable. We have about 14 chickens that are kind of like running wild, and they're establishing a lot of like just farm animals and taking care of them. Tienes cabras también, ¿no?
Tenemos 3 cabras y 2 chivos y 3 conejos.
Yeah, they have lots of animals, goats and ¿qué más dijiste?
Conejos.
Conejos, panis. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cool. Eso es algo que empezamos a hacer como un establo que los niños siempre me pedían.
So this is something that we decided to make this little like stable farm thing because that's something that the kids always ask me to do.
Y pienso que los niños aman más a los animales que a mí ahora.
And so now the animals are more loved than Martine is at a house of hope.
Otras actividades que hacemos es que las bicicletas estaban descompuestos, no los usaban mucho y ellos lo arreglaron, la mayoría, y ahora pueden pasear en bicicleta por toda la casa.
So other activities that we do, we used to have these very broke down bikes, and fortunately they were able to kind of rebuild them and fix them, and now they can go throughout all of the grounds of the orphanage riding bicycles.
Sembramos maíz.
We plant corn.
¿Qué más? Hacemos una fogata todos los viernes para divertirnos y quemar bombones.
So we have a bonfire every single Friday now, and we also roast marshmallows.
Los miércoles tienen una clase especial de cocina. Han hecho pizza, han hecho pan, empanadas, donas, muchas cosas.
So on Wednesday we have a cooking class. We've made bread, we've made empanadas, we've made many different things, really good food every single Wednesday.
Y también tenemos nuestro estudio bíblico todos los días.
And we also have our Bible study every single day.
Wow, that's awesome. And you guys play soccer.
Y jugamos fútbol.
Yeah, that's what I do whenever I'm down there. Most of the time anyway. Mexicanos versus the Americanos.
Yeah. Tú sabes cómo termina todo.
¿Ah?
Dile a
Amy que él sabe cómo termina el partido México-Estados Unidos siempre.
You know how the game between Americans and Mexicans always ends up, Josh.
Oh yeah, I mean I know. We always run up the score, right?
Que siempre ganan ellos.
Está bien.
It's okay. That's good.
All right, so the next question that I have comes from Abigail Robillard.
What kind of food do the kids at La Casa eat?
And I'm going to throw in, can you talk a little bit about the tacos that you make? Because I absolutely love those.
Pues la comida de los niños, siempre agregamos leche en la mañana y por la noche.
So whatever food the kids eat, we always have milk in the morning and at night.
Adrián sabe afuera. Desayunos chilaquiles con huevo.
So for breakfast, we have this traditional Mexican dish called chilaquiles. It's like fried tortillas and sauce and egg. It's really good.
Sopes.
Sopes, which is another traditional Mexican dish.
Frijoles.
Beans.
Sopas.
Soups.
Hotcakes.
Oh, pancakes.
Pan francés.
French toast.
Casi lo mismo que los niños en Estados Unidos, pero con frijol y tortillas.
So basically the same food that they eat in the United States, except you have tortillas and beans with it.
Y en lugar de salsa, en lugar de capsu, usamos salsa picante.
And instead of eating ketchup, we have hot sauce.
Tenemos algunos otros platillos para los niños como tortas, tacos, ensaladas. Les gustan mucho las ensaladas.
So we have other dishes like tacos and salads. The kids really, really like the salads. Sandwiches at times too.
Me gusta hacer carne asada, que son tacos de carne asada para los niños.
I really like making grilled steak, carne asada, and the kids love the tacos.
Usamos guacamole, usamos cebolla, cilantro, un poco de picante.
We put a little bit of onion, cilantro, guacamole, a little bit of spice on there too.
Yeah. Y un sazón que es secreto.
Oh, and then a secret ingredient as well.
Oh, that's not fair, man. Yeah, there's, just for the kids who are watching this, there's a really good restaurant in Hampton called Burrito Loco. And if you ever want to know what kind of food that they eat in Mexico, I would highly recommend going there because it's super authentic. So very good. Next question that I have comes from Toei.
Do they have any pets down there?
I know that you guys had puppies when we were there in November. So how are they doing?
Bien, tenemos las mascotas, los animales de la granja, y además tenemos muchos perros y gatos.
We have a lot of farm animals, and then we also have dogs and cats.
Nuestra perra Marshall tuvo 9 bebés
our
hace
dog
2
Marshall.
meses.
¿Hace 2 meses?
Sí, más.
Más. So 2 months ago, Marsha, who's one of the dogs there, she had 9 puppies.
Y los niños quieren que no los regalamos, que nos quedamos con 9.
And the kids don't want us to give them away to anyone. They want to keep all 9 puppies.
Tenemos algunos gatos.
We have a couple cats as well.
Y ¿qué más tenemos? Oh, tenemos un pequeño pollito.
We have a little chicken too.
Les mando fotos de los animales para que los conozcan.
Martin says that he'll send us some pictures of them so that the kids can see the animals.
That would be awesome if you could do that. That'd be super cool.
Genial, si puedes hacer eso.
Claro.
Another question comes from Evie Bender.
Do the kids have to share rooms?
Also, could you talk a little bit about what the living situation is like for the kids?
Es un poco diferente a como comúnmente es que cada niño tiene su cuarto aquí.
¿Otra vez?
Es diferente como ellos viven.
It's very different than how kids in the United States live, where most times kids in the U.S. have their own rooms. So it's very different than that.
Imagínate que tienes en tu cuarto a 10 de tus mejores amigos por muchos años y puedes jugar, contar cuentos, divertirte por muchos años con tus mejores amigos.
Imagine that you live with 10 of your best friends and you just get to live with them every single day. You get to tell stories, you get to play, you get to wake up with them, just like 10 of your best friends all living in the same space.
En un cuarto grande duermen comúnmente 10 niños. Tienen todos sus baños, sus camas, su ropa, todo organizado y limpio. Y, yep.
And in a big room, typically there's about 10 kids who sleep in there. They have their bathrooms, they have all their belongings. Everything is organized and clean. And that's typically what a typical situation is like.
Yeah. Y las niñas, imagínate que puedes tener a 4 de tus mejores amigas en un cuarto y hablar de novelas o de chismes o de novios, lo que sea. Todo es divertido. Las niñas duermen en parejas de 4 en un cuarto y es como viven.
And so for the girls, the guys live in like the rooms of 10. With the girls, you imagine that you have like 4 of your best friends, 3 of your other best friends living with you. You can talk about soap operas and shows and boys and whatever, like gossip or whatever comes to your head. And so the girls usually sleep in one room with 4 of them in each room.
En general, los niños y las niñas de Casa de la Esperanza, por la situación, se tiene que aprender a compartir todo. Compartimos todo en los cuartos, compartimos a las mamás, compartimos a los papás. Entonces, ya, eso es.
hacer caso. In general, the kids, because of the situation of living all together in an orphanage, the kids at House of Hope need to learn how to share. They learn how to share space, how to share living arrangements, how to share moms and dads and parental figures. That's just a part of life down there, is learning how to share.
Cool. So I have two more questions. The first one comes from Sam Mezzi again.
How do they do school at the orphanage? And where do they go to church?
Normalmente los niños van a la escuela a las 7:30 de la mañana, entran y salen.
Perdón, síguele, Martín.
Normalmente entran a las 7:30 de la mañana, 8, y salen a las 2:30 de la tarde.
So typically the kids go to school at about 7:30, 8 in the morning, and then they come back at about 2 or 2:30 in the afternoon.
Y en las escuelas tienen oportunidad de hacer algún deporte, de hacer pintura, artes, lo que sea.
So at school, they also have the opportunity to play sports, to do painting classes, other types of art, like those types of opportunities.
La mayoría así es. Ir a la iglesia, comúnmente vamos los domingos.
So commonly we go to church on Sundays.
Y es de las 9 de la mañana a las 10:15 de la mañana.
Like about 9:15 to 10:15 every Sunday morning.
Y tienen sus clases bíblicas según sus edades.
And they have their Bible studies according, kind of their Sunday school classes according to the ages that they are.
Y los niños a donde vayan siempre tienen amigos que no viven en casa y que viven en casa.
And wherever the kids go, they always have friends who either don't live in the orphanage or who also do live in the orphanage.
Como ustedes.
Like you all as well.
Awesome. So the last question that I have comes from Stevie.
Did they get brakes for the go-kart that Josh crashed in?
I showed him the video of the go-kart that without any brakes.
Y ese niño quiere saber por qué no ponen frenos en los carritos.
Como viste en el video, tenemos muchos árboles y mucha tierra y se puede frenar ahí muy rápido.
So he said, as you can see from the video, we have a lot of trees and a lot of dirt. And so the trees and the dirt help the brakes. They help the car to stop. So that's what we use for brakes.
Los niños querían ser un carro diferente a los demás y todos los carros tienen frenos, entonces este no y es diferente.
But they wanted to make a car that was different than everyone else's. So this car is different in that it doesn't have brakes.
La realidad es que tienen clases de mecánica y no han podido poner frenos, pero harán después.
So the reality is they are taking like mechanical classes, and so at that point they hadn't learned how to put brakes on yet.
Well, that's totally fine by me because I had a lot of fun riding it.
I don't want to like tip over.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, you're not gonna tip over. All right, Matt, tell me about the brakes. So yeah, just the brake. Pull this thing out if you want to slow down.
No brakes, no brakes.
Hey Josh, the brakes are coming uphill.
No importa, no importa, vámonos.
Yeah, you pull that. Oh, stop! Stop!
Que está bien con él porque se divirtió mucho en montarla.
Even though I had to run over my own feet to stop the thing.
Aunque tenía que como cruzar sus propios pies para frenar.
Frenos mexicanos.
Yeah, Mexican.
Yeah, Mexican brakes. That's awesome. All right, that's all we have time for today. Thank you, Martine, so much for talking with us, and thank you, Amy, for translating for us.
Yes, it's been great. Good to see all of you.
Yep.
Gracias a ti por la oportunidad de comunicarnos. Saludos a todos en la iglesia, a los niños, a sus papás, a los pastores. Gracias por sus oraciones. Es lo que nos ha hecho fuertes en estos momentos tan difíciles.
So he says, thank you so much for this opportunity to communicate with you all. Thank you so much to all of the kids, all the pastors, everyone. He said, your prayers and your support is what has made us strong during these very difficult times.
Yep, you're very welcome, and we will keep praying for you, and we will keep sending you guys as much support as we can. And we're looking forward to seeing you guys, hopefully, fingers crossed, in November. Yeah.
Thank you. Bye.
See you guys later. All right, guys, that's all we have time for today. I hope you guys enjoyed that interview, getting to hear from Martine, who is a director at Casa de la Esperanza. I was really psyched to see that you guys sent in some awesome questions. Thank you for those. And I hope you guys enjoyed hearing the answers to them, hearing just a little bit about what it's like to be at Casa from somebody who is there right now. Also, thank you guys so much for participating and sitting through Missions Moment for the past week. I hope you guys have enjoyed learning a little bit about Casa. Just from hearing what people have to say about it, from Mark Stoll on Tuesday, Matt Alaniz on Wednesday, Kara Conant, wow, that's weird, Kara Conant on Thursday, and then Martine today. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you guys have any more questions and you guys see me around at church or anything like that, feel free to ask some questions. Other than that, keep doing those chores. The donation box is still up for today, and it's going to be up all summer, so keep doing those chores all summer. But other than that, that's all I got. So thank you guys. See you later.
As you trust in God with all your heart, He will see you through. He will never part. His plans for you are good, you know, and it all begins when we let go. Let's go, let's go. 3, 2, here we go. Jump, jump to the arms wide open. Your love is deeper than the ocean. Jump, jump, 'cause you never change. Your love for me will always stay the same. Jump, jump to the arms wide open. Your love is deeper than the ocean. Jump, jump, 'cause you never change. Your love for me will always stay the same. Let's go, let's go. As you trust in God each and every day, He will see you through, help you find your way. He is always good and He stays the same. He will never leave and He knows your name. 3, 2, everybody jump! Jump, jump to the arms wide open. Your love is deeper than the ocean. Jump, jump, 'cause you never change. Your love for me will always stay the same. Jump, jump to the arms wide open. Your love is deeper than the ocean. Jump, jump, 'cause you never change. Your love for me will always stay the same. Jump, 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 jump higher. Jump, 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 jump. Everybody now. Jump, 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 jump higher. Jump, jump to the arms wide open. Your love is deeper than the ocean. Jump, jump, 'cause you never change. Your love for me will always stay the same. Jump, jump to the arms wide open. Your love is deeper than the ocean. Jump, jump, 'cause you never change. Your love for me will always stay the same. Jump, jump.
Yo ho, me God is trustworthy. You can place your faith in Him. Yo ho, me God is trustworthy. You can place your faith in Him. Well, shiver me timber, what do we have here? Why, it looks like a whole crew of islanders. One-eyed be the buccaneer I'd be, and I have something I want to share with you. So why don't you pull up a bucket and Sit down. Do you know that God is trustworthy? That's right, I said he's trustworthy. Why, there's all kinds of things in the Bible that proves it. I want to share one of those with you today. It actually comes from the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 17. Now you see, the Israelites, God's own people, they were at war with the Philistines. Now these Philistines, they had for themselves a secret weapon. Why, it was this big feller. They called him a giant, and his name was Goliath. Goliath was over 9 feet tall, and he had a bronze suit, and he had a humongous spear and a shield. Pretty scary, I'd say. Well, every day, for many days, Goliath would come out in front of the Israelites, and he would yell and holler at them and try to get one of them to come out and challenge him in a fight. And he would also make fun of their God. Well, all of them Israelites were scared and they would shake in their boots. So nobody would come out and fight him. At this time, there was an old feller named Jesse. Jesse had for himself 8 boys. The 3 oldest boys were up there in the Israelite army trying to fight the Philistines. The youngest one, his name was David. You see, David was a shepherd. He would watch over Jesse's sheep. Well, old Jesse, he got kind of nervous because his boys had been at war for a while, and he wanted to have somebody check up on him. So he called David in from the field and told him, go up and check on your brothers and bring them some food. Well, David went on up, and when he got there, he saw this giant Goliath standing in front of the whole Israelite army, and he was yelling at them. He was calling them names. He was challenging them to come out and fight him. And worst of all, he was making fun of God. Well, David was angry at this. Why wouldn't just one man have enough courage in the Israelite army, the army of God, go down and fight and challenge him? But nobody would. So David went to King Saul, king of the Israelites, and he said to him, I, David, I will fight this giant Goliath, and I will beat him. Well, Saul was pretty impressed with David's courage, but he said to him, David, I don't see how you can do this. Why, you're just a young boy. Well, David looked at Saul and said, listen, I've been a shepherd for many years, and God would always help me when the lions and the bears would come out, and he would help me fight them, and I have learned to have trust in God. Every time I needed him, he was there. Well, King Saul could hardly argue with that, and he said he agreed. He told David, go ahead and fight Goliath. So David went down to the river. He pulled out 5 smooth stones, put them in his pouch. He grabbed his sling and his staff. He went out to the battlefield, and Goliath saw him coming. Well, Goliath started to laugh. Ha, 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 ha. What is this? The whole Israelite army, and the best they can do is send a boy out to fight me? Why, I'm going to feed his body to the birds. Well, David said, no, not today, Goliath, because I come in the name of the living God. At that, David stood back. He put one of them smooth stones in his sling, and he swung it round and round and round, and he let her go. That stone flew straight and true, and it hit Goliath right in the forehead, knocking him down, killing him dead. You see, David, he put his trust in God, and he had faith that God would help him. He knew from his past experience, God always helped him when he needed him. And you know what? God will always help you too. There's another couple verses that come out of Scripture. Matter of fact, you guys should have been talking about them already today, that talks about trust, and that actually comes from the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verses 5 and 6, where it says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your paths right. You see, if you put your trust in God and you follow him, and you don't follow yourself and your own ideas, but follow after God and his heart, he will show you the right path and the right way to go. Now, I need to tell you, nowadays there are giants in our lives. They come in many shapes and forms. All a giant is something that is a challenge or maybe makes you scared. Now, to some of us, that could just be maybe going to school and doing schoolwork. Or maybe it could be making friends. Or maybe you in your life have a real life bully, kind of like Goliath. Well, the Bible tells us if we put our trust in God, he will help and protect and love us through all those situations. Now, I want you to go and have a great day.
I will praise your name. You are the Lord. You are the Lord. Yesterday, today, forevermore, forevermore. Oh, the glory and the wonder of your majesty. I will tell the world of your great love for me. Makes me wanna sing. Holy, 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 Lord God Almighty. All the world will praise your name in earth and sky and sea. Holy, 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 merciful and mighty, God in three persons, blessed Trinity. God, you're near to all who call your name, who call your name. And even when I fall, your love remains, your love remains. You open up your hand and you provide for me. I am satisfied, you've given everything. My heart is gonna sing. Holy, 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 Lord God Almighty. All the world will praise your name in earth and sky and sea. Holy, 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 merciful and mighty, God in three persons, blessed Trinity. Holy is the Lord. Holy is the Lord.
Ahoy, Islanders, and welcome back to our Luau. I hope you had an amazing experience today at Vacation Bible School. And today we are going to talk about, for our creature feature, we are going to talk about our macaw. Macaw is like a parrot. A macaw is covered in colorful feathers. And they go all the way from her head all the way down, and those actually act as kind of like it's like she's putting on a raincoat, because if we put water all over a macaw, the water would slide right off of her. It also acts as camouflage, and it also acts as sun repellent, and those are what her feathers do. Macaws can get to be about 3 feet tall, which is right about like this. That's a really big bird. Now I want you guys to put your arms way out wide like this, and as wide as you can do that, that's as far as her wingspan can go as well. So that's a pretty big bird. But do you know she only weighs like 2 to 4 pounds, which is pretty light for a bird that big. And do you know why? It's because God made her bones hollow inside so she could fly. Isn't that so cool that God thought of everything when he thought about making the macaw? Another fun fact is, have you ever played copycat with someone?
Have you ever played copycat with someone?
Who said that?
Who said that?
Why are you copying me?
Why are you copying me? No, wait, I'm copying you. Oh, never mind.
So you get the idea. Probably you've had a brother or sister who's done that to you by accident, not trying to play that game. But that's what's cool about the macaw, is the macaw can actually learn how to copy someone's voice. And you might hear them say something that someone's taught them. They can speak. They can play copycat. Another cool fact about the macaw is its beak. The beak is like super hard and super strong, and then her tongue, you can stick your tongue out just this once at me. Her tongue has a bone in it. So between the bony tongue and the hard beak, that's what helps her crack open seeds and nuts. But you gotta keep your fingers away from that beak, because that beak could break your finger very, very easily. I think one of the coolest facts about the macaw is that she can actually live up to 50 years old. That's about average for them. 50 years old. Some of them have even lived to 90 years old. So that would be like you getting a pet and having it for your entire life. So how trustworthy would that pet be if you had it its entire life? So macaws were really good friends of pirates. They had macaws very often with them because they were trusty friends, and they always were with them, and they could trust in them too. And just like Trusty the macaw is a friend of the pirate, we have our God who is our trusted friend. And I'm going to pray for you, and then I have just one special message to leave with you. Father God, thank you for bringing us back to this fun luau where we can learn that you are completely trustworthy. And I pray that these kids take that message with them wherever they go in life. And all God's children said, amen. So Islanders, boys and girls, it's bittersweet to say goodbye to you this year. And I want to just let you know that on behalf of everyone at our church who is involved in Vacation Bible School, there's about 90 of us that just love to see you every year. It's been very, very hard to not see you in person this year. And we are praying for you, and we love you, and we plan on seeing you next year in person, right here for Vacation Bible School. Aloha.
Mystery Island, Mystery Island.